What's the likelihood you're gonna die? Spoiler alert, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. We're all going to die. We can't cheat death yet. We're not immortal yet. We can't live forever yet. Now you may note I say yet at the end of all those sentences. I say this because it is not impossible. We are just not there yet. But we shouldn't be afraid. I mean, we share this death sentence with every other being on the planet. I mean, from our president, Michael D. Higgins, to comedians like Dara O'Brien, to the wild beasts of the savannah plains, to the monsters of the ocean deep, all of us must die. But wouldn't it be wonderful, just wonderful, if we could live forever, if we could grow younger instead of growing older? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens in one specific species. And this species is not by any means the magical or mythical phoenix. It doesn't die and then it's reborn from the ashes in hellfire. No, this species is a jellyfish. The immortal, get it, jellyfish. Now, the immortal jellyfish has the same life cycle as everyone else, as in it has a childhood phase where it's a larva, it swims around, and then it has an adolescence phase where it asexually reproduces. That means it settles on something, it forms into a gelatinous egg cup called a polyp. And this can asexually reproduce. It can clone itself, it can make asexual replications of itself. And these thousands of replications spread out among the ocean currents and form adults. They form sexually reproducing adults, which are the bells and the tentacles we all know and love. Now, these, once sexually reproducing, these adults then die. In every other case, they die, except in the case of the immortal jellyfishes. And here is where it gets interesting. You see, when the immortal jellyfish becomes sexually mature, it can choose what it wants to do. It can either continue on and die, which it does in 90% of the cases, or it can revert to a younger form of itself. It can absorb its bell and its tentacles and revert back to the polyp stage. But why is this important, and how does it affect us? How will we become our own Benjamin Buttons? The thing about it is that our cells have functionality. When our cells become eye cells, they stay as eye cells. When our cells become muscle cells, they stay as muscle cells. And this is where it gets different for the immortal jellyfish. It can choose the functionality of its cells. It can make its tentacle cells into a simple cell and then a stomach cell. And this is what should intrigue us, what should excite us, and what should inspire us. After all, immortality is but a jellyfish away. Thank you very much.